recognition.
I have a motion at the desk,
The
Mr.
clerk will
Speaker.
report the motion.
Ms. Clark of Massachusetts moves to lay the resolution on the table.
The question is on the motion offered by the gentlewoman from Massachusetts. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. No. In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it.
Mr. Speaker, I request a call of the yeas and nays.
That clip was only a small glimpse of the intense debate surrounding Ilhan Omar, and it's quickly becoming one of the most talked about issues in Congress. Supporters and critics are clashing over her comments, with many arguing that the controversy reflects deeper divisions across the country. For a growing number of Americans, this discussion is no longer just about political disagreements. It's about the principles and values they believe should guide the nation. In a moment, we'll watch the full exchange and examine what sparked this controversy, why it has generated such strong reactions, and why many of her critics believe her actions are having a negative impact. Before we dive in, if you enjoy thoughtful political analysis, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others who want to stay informed.
House Resolution 713, whereas Charlie Kirk was a lifelong advocate for freedom of speech, civil political discourse, and the political engagement of youth, whereas Charlie Kirk was a man of deep faith, a husband, and a father of 2 young children, whereas on September 10, 2025, Charlie Kirk was assassinated on the campus of Utah Valley University while exercising his First Amendment right to freedom of speech. Whereas on September 11, 2025, one day after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, Representative Ilhan Omar gave an interview on a Zateo town hall with Mahdi Hassan in which she smeared Charlie Kirk and implied he was to blame for his own murder. Whereas on September 12, 2025, 2 days after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, Representative Ilhan Omar reposted a video on X, formerly known as Twitter, which disparaged the character of Charlie Kirk and those mourning his death. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X states, Charlie Kirk is dead, and before the body got cold, the far right propped his corpse up as a cardinal for their holy war. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states, don't be fooled. These people don't give a single shit about Charlie Kirk. They are just using his death to further their Christo-fascist agenda. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states Charlie Kirk was a reprehensible human being. He enacted his political agenda by preying on weak-minded people. He took complex socioeconomic issues and simplified them by pointing fingers at outgroups, demonizing those groups, and seeking his massive following on them. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states Charlie Kirk was a sarcastic terrorist, an adamant transphobe. He denied the genocide happening in Palestine. He believed in the subjugation of women. And in his last dying words, he was spewing racist dog whistles. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states Charlie Kirk was Dr. Frankenstein and his monster shot him through the neck. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further blames Charlie Kirk for his own murder. Whereas Clause 1 of Rule 23 of the Rules of the House of Representatives provides a member, delegate, resident commissioner, officer, or employee of the House shall behave at all times in a manner that shall reflect credibly on the House. And whereas Representative Ilhan Omar's actions in the wake of the assassination of Charlie Kirk are reprehensible and affect the dignity and integrity of the proceedings of the House and do not reflect credibly on the House. Now therefore be it resolved that 1. Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota be censured. 2. Representative Ilhan Omar forthwith present herself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure. 3. Representative Ilhan Omar be censured with the public reading of this resolution by the Speaker. And 4. Representative Ilhan Omar be and is hereby removed from the Committee on Education and Workforce and the Committee on the Budget of the House.
Now that we've seen the full exchange, there's a lot to unpack. The resolution to censure Ilhan Omar didn't appear out of nowhere. Her critics argue it stems from a series of controversial statements and social media posts that have drawn backlash over the years. During the debate, supporters of the resolution pointed to her reaction following the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, arguing that her comments focused on broader political issues instead of expressing sympathy for the victim. To them, that response reflected a troubling lack of unity during a tragic moment. The resolution also revisits earlier controversies that have followed Omar throughout her time in Congress. Opponents reference remarks they believe were insensitive or offensive, including comments that sparked accusations of anti-Semitism and criticism over her description of the September 11th attacks. Omar has defended or clarified several of these remarks over the years, but for many of her critics, they form what they see as a recurring pattern rather than isolated controversies. Another major focus of the hearing was the procedural vote to table the resolution. In Congress, tabling a measure generally prevents it from moving forward, meaning lawmakers avoid debating and voting on the substance of the proposal itself. Critics of that decision argue it allowed members to sidestep accountability instead of addressing the allegations directly, while supporters viewed it as the appropriate procedural response. The close vote also underscored how sharply divided Congress remains. To supporters of the resolution, it was an effort to hold a public official accountable for repeated controversial statements. To Omar's defenders, it reflected another highly partisan battle in an already polarized political climate. Ultimately, the debate extends beyond one lawmaker. It raises broader questions about the standards elected officials should be held to, how controversial speech should be addressed, and whether Congress should formally censure members over repeated public remarks. Regardless of where people stand politically, the hearing highlighted just how contentious these issues have become and why they continue to generate intense debate across the country.